Hello traders, how are we? Welcome to the live stream. Apologies for the little bit of a delay there. My tech was playing up. Anyway, how are we all? Hope you're well. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to take a look, as usual, at all of my trades. We literally had a trade that we took some profit on today. So we'll take a look at that trade. We're also going to look at other trades that I'm looking at today as well. We've potentially got a trade on a yen pair, so we'll keep an eye on that. We're also going to reveal the winner of the $5,000 funded challenge, right? So that's exciting. And I'm going to give you a free price action masterclass with over 4 hours of knowledge, tools, and skills, guys, right? If you want to know how to claim this prize, then stay tuned. And yeah, it's a Christmas present. Also, guys, as always, we're going to take as many of your questions as humanly possible. So yeah, ask whatever you like, guys, about trading, literally anything. So if you've got questions about potentially a trade you're in, please share your trade. Or if you want to know about strategy, money and risk management, psychology, the trading journey, anything you like, guys, don't be shy, come leave a question. And I think that's pretty much everything we're going to do. I did a pub quiz last night and we came third. So not bad. We normally win, but we came third yesterday. So there you go. Don't ask me to remember any of the questions because I can't. So there you go, guys. That's everything we are going to do. So let's start with this pound Canadian dollar sell trade that I took earlier. And you're probably thinking, Tom, you don't have a stop loss. I shall explain. I did have a stop loss. So we were selling pound Canadian dollar. All right, so let's understand this trade, right? So daily chart, right? This is always direction. So you can see we was in this uptrend. We kind of stopped making higher highs and then we broke these lows, right? So we're in a downtrend. And ever since then, there's been this level here, right? The price just keeps reacting at, all right? And yesterday's candle was no different, right? We got a wick rejection. I know this is not really a bearish candle, but that wick rejection is enough for me, right? It's really rejected price here. So everything was telling us we could sell pound Canadian dollar. And then if we drop down to the H4, guys, I will share exactly why I entered. So you can see here, guys, right? There's this level through here, and that's those daily highs that I was talking about, right? And we got this bearish reaction, and then basically, guys, just when we come back up into here, I just entered the trade, right? Started selling in here because it just offered such good value, and it allowed me to put my stop loss all the way up here and well out of the way, right? So this is where my original stop loss was. Right, and as always, I'm looking to get my 1:1 first of all. So I entered in here, and by the time this news come out, let's take a quick look at the economic calendar. So by the time, or just before all of this news came out, which is important news, guys, right? Inflation, super important in the UK at the moment. And these were obviously all worse than expected, which was perfect for my trade. But how I managed it was this, guys, right? By the time that news come out, price was literally down here. So all I did was move my stop loss to break even and then just let this trade rip. I actually took out my take profit, right? Because I was in I love being in this position, right? When you're in a winning trade, you can put your stop to break even, and there's news coming out which goes in the favor of your trade, right? Let them rip. You've got nothing to lose, right? The worst case scenario, you come out of the trade break even. So I just let it rip, guys. I ended up taking some profit down at 1.8385, closed 80%, and then I closed the remaining 20% actually down here when it hit this 1.8350 level down here. So yeah, really nice trade on pound Canadian dollar. And you know, the news fell nicely with this trade. All right. And guys, you know, there's a number of things you can do if you find yourself in a trade, right, and there's news coming out. There's a number of different things you can do, and as always, guys, there's a tutorial on this exact thing in the VIP Discord. All right, so go check it out. Another trade I entered today: Euro Aussie dollar sells. So it's more of a daily trade, guys, really, okay, because I really like this level. Yeah, so we was in this uptrend and then bang, I'm going to say that was a level 2. Bang, we broke down, we retested these last highs and this area of support and resistance, right? And we got, if I zoom in, guys, you can see we got a nice wick rejection at that level, right? So pretty much a daily entry, because on the H4, you know what, when you have a daily level that you're interested in, you know, this is what you want to see. H4 comes up, hits it, right? Hits it again, doesn't break it. Even hits it again, doesn't break it, right? So this level is holding. Now, that's why I got into this trade aggressively without a H4 breakdown. And I've been doing this recently with my trades. Again, there's a tutorial on this in the VIP Discord. And so I entered, right? This level seems to be holding, entered here, stopped well out of the way up here, looking to take price back down to here. So I'm in this trade, guys. Now, what I want to see is a breakdown in H4. So maybe you can see this level here. It's proven to be good support. If we get a break of this level, I will reduce risk, move my stop loss to here, and add to this position to take lower. All right, whilst taking some profit at 1:1. So there you go, guys. There's the 2 trades that I got into today. And so far, so good, right? Both doing okay. And as always, guys, right, if you want my trades, then please come join the VIP Discord. Join the free Discord and then come join the VIP. So this was my pound Canadian dollar sell trade, right? And this is exactly what I did with it, right? Move stop loss to break even ahead of UK CPI, hit TP1, took profit at 1.8385. So if you want all of my trades in exactly where I enter, how and when I, you know, when I get out of the trade and why, then please come join the VIP Discord. And then you can also see here, guys, my Euro Aussie dollar sell trade, and that's the trade we're still in. Yeah, so there you go, guys. That is me. They're the trades I am in. We can see lots of people coming into the live stream now. So hello, everyone. Before I say hellos and take a look at your questions, let me have a drink of coffee in my favorite Liverpool mug. Dan Laguna, this one's for you. Yeah, so let me show you this, guys. I also like New Zealand yen buys if certain things happen. Because on the daily, guys, right, you know, New Zealand yen's at a really nice level. We're in this uptrend, right, and prices retrace to our smart river, right? And our smart river is very good dynamic support in this case, okay? You can just see how much price reacts at our river. And you know, the only thing that was preventing me from trading this aggressively is yesterday's candle, right? It's a complete doji. Buyers or sellers are not in control. So I like trend, I like the direction. We're in an uptrend. The candle, I also like the retrace. We got some really nice value here because we've got so much room to move back into. But the daily candle, you know, didn't fill me with buyers are in control. So what I will wait for, which may or may not happen, is a break of H4 structure, right? Simple as that. So you can see price is breaking down here. Okay, we've almost got like a double bottom scenario. If we get a break of this last high here, right, you can see my alarm is in there. You know, I will jump into action when that alarm goes off. If we start seeing, just let me draw that candle again. That was the worst candle I've ever drawn. If we start seeing a nice big bullish H4 candle like this, I may well start buying this. Stops below here with a view to coming back up to these highs. So yeah, just wanted to show you that, guys, before we start saying hello to everyone. So Luigi, hi, how are you? Nero, you're on time today. No punishment today. Luigi, please would you shed some light on swaps, example, positive swaps when trading specific pairs? Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Dan Laguna, morning Tom, could you take a look at US dollar CAD? Certainly, we'll take a look at that. Louis Esterhusen, the famous golfer, hi. Nicholas, hi. Niraj, hi. How is everyone? So let's have a look at this question about swaps. Now, I have been in Canadian dollar Swiss franc trade, right? Now, I'm going to check my swaps, right? So I know I'm still in this trade, by the way, guys, right? It hasn't hit target, right? Stop loss is all the way down here, right? Now, this has positive swaps, right? So some pairs you're going to trade will have positive swaps. Some will have negative. It's as simple as that. So if I just quickly look at the trades that I am in, right? I know that Canadian dollar Swiss franc is a positive swap, whereas Euro Canadian dollar sells, right, is a negative swap, and Euro Aussie dollar I've only entered today, right? So there's no swaps as yet, right? Swaps kick in when you trade overnight, right? And Canadian dollar Swiss franc is positive swaps. So, you know, that is just part and parcel of trading. But what swaps do is it makes me more inclined to hold on to a trade, you know, like Canadian dollar Swiss franc, because the swaps are positive. You know, I'm happy to hold on to this for days, right? You know, and even if the swaps are negative, it won't be enough to get me out of a trade, right? But obviously, you know, it's just eating into your profit. Right, so you know we want positive swaps on our pairs, especially if we're holding them for a long while. And if you want to look at the swaps, just click into your trade, and it will have like commissions, swaps, and it'll have a breakdown of all of those things. So yeah, you know, ideally we trade with positive swaps, but it won't stop me from taking trades with negative swaps or holding on to trades with negative swaps. So yeah, you know, especially with this Christmas break coming up, right? I won't necessarily be trading. The volume will be a little bit light, but I will hold on to Canadian dollar Swiss franc because it has a positive swap. It's you know, it makes it more palatable to hold on to it. So yeah, I hope that helps, Luigi. Yeah, but just click onto your trades. If you're in an open trade and it's been held overnight, just click into it and you'll see swaps and you'll see if it's positive or negative. Yes, I hope that helped, guys. Right, Dan Laguna wants to look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, let's do that. Before I do, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button, guys. Also, please go check out the website if you want access to all of our premium trading education. You can see the website above my head. Please come join our trading community. You can talk to like-minded traders, share knowledge, ideas, and we've also got the VIP. And then also, guys, please go check out our promotion that we have with Pepperstone. If you use one of our preferred brokers using our link, we will give you free VIP access and a free Essential Trading View subscription. It's a really good promotion. Take me up on it. US dollar CAD. Let's have a look, Dan. Right. So let's start with the daily chart. Now, I know this has hit a key support level, right? It has, so you can clearly see this level, and this was actually a target, right, that I put in, but we've hit it now. So let's remove this target, right? So my target was pretty good, and it was in a very logical location, right? Which, if you break this level here, right, then your next logical target is that level there, right? It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it, right? That should be your higher time frame target. When I let some of my trade run, that's what I'll be aiming for, to take it down to there. So US dollar CAD, we've been in this downtrend. We've had lots of Canadian dollar strength. There's been a lot of positive Canadian dollar news, but now we're at this support level, right? And if I'm in this situation, I don't want to trade this pair, right? If I'm in a downtrend, but we're hitting into support, I don't want to trade it, right? If we're in a uptrend and we're hitting resistance, I don't want to trade it. It's as simple as that. So yeah, there's no trade here. We're in a downtrend, but we're at support. Now, it is a good support level, right? And you can expect price to bounce from here, right? So some people, will trade that bounce. Okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If that proves to be constantly profitable for you, no problem, right? But I don't like it because it's going against trend. And every time you go against trend, you are reducing the probability of your trade. It's as simple as that. It's not like I never take against trend trades, right? I do when certain criteria is met. And again, we have a strategy on that in the VIP. So I will take against daily trend trades, but not that often, because in my view, it is reducing the probability of the trade. It's as simple as that. And if I am going to trade against trend, because this is a really nice level, at the very least, wait for a H4 break. And you can clearly see this level in here, right? It's clear as day. That is the level. Now, if this level holds and we get a bearish reaction, right, we're probably going to make it back down to these lows. If we break this level, right, I would potentially be looking to take it just up to this level here, if not potentially further, right? But bear in mind, all of that is against daily trend. So you don't want to push your luck there. So yeah, so US dollar CAD, roundabout way of saying it's not a trade, right? It's just not a trade for me, even if it breaks this H4 level. So yeah, there you go, Dan the Gooner. I think you're going to win the league, Arsenal. My brother will be happy, and I will probably get a year's worth of abuse from him on the phone. Right, guys, I think it is time for, so guys, please get your questions into me, guys, right? Don't be shy, ask as many questions as you like. I'm still seeing more people come in, so hi, Janet from Sierra Leone. Hi, Janet, you may be the first person we've had from Sierra Leone. Welcome. Luigi, you're welcome. And we've got a quick question here as hell. Okay, no, okay, we'll take a look at that as well. Right, we're going to look at this question in a second. Before we do, we are going to reveal the winner of the $5,000 funded challenge, courtesy of Blueberry Funded. Let me get my wheel of names. We do need to add somebody to this. We need to add Cephas, right? And all you had to do, guys, to win this prize was join our free Discord and answer the question in our Forex chat. So that's it, guys. So this is everyone who can potentially win the $5,000 funded challenge. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. I wouldn't make it as a drummer. Here we go. So who's it going to be? Tranquillo. Congratulations, Tranquillo. You are the winner of the $5,000 funded challenge, courtesy of Blueberry Funded. So Tranquillo, please DM me in the free Discord and we will arrange your prize for you. Congratulations. So there you go. That was exciting. Okay, we've got another person. I was going to say gentleman. I assume so. Mohammed from Sierra Leone as well. Okay, welcome the Sierra Leone posse. Okay, we've got anything hot wants to look at some trades as well. But we're going to focus on this question first of all. So with the holidays next week, how can you tell when volume decreases? When do you plan to be out of the market? So ideally, I will be out of all of my current trades, or at the very least, just letting some small profit run, right, by Friday, right? Because Friday is the 19th, and then the Monday is the 22nd, right? And it's just too close to Christmas, right? You've got 22nd, 23rd, 24th, right? It's Christmas Eve. So next week is a no trading week for me. So just to let everyone know, and I'll let you know if we do a live stream though, right? I'll obviously let you know. I'm not sure yet. But it's a no trading week for me. That's what I am sure about, because volume would just be low. You know, all the big banks, all the big investment firms, they're not putting on trades. They're off. They're going spending their bonuses that they've got this year. Right, they're not putting on trades, so there's a lack of volume, right? And just the fact that, you know, probably about half the world is celebrating Christmas, or they're off work, down the pub, or, you know, or eating quality streets. So there'll just be less traders, right? It's always that way over Christmas, and you can see it in the market because price can, you know, whip away quite quickly. There's such light volume. Right, and you might even see some gap ups and gap downs because of that lack of volume. So I don't want to trade in that environment, right? I like I like lots of volume, strong liquidity, right? So yeah, I mean, I would suggest having next week off, guys, right? Is it Monday the 5th? You know, I'll look to come back to trading on that Monday. Yeah, again, in between that, the market's going to be have very low volume, right? So yeah, hope that helps answer that question. Okay, Nero's saying Pep, Man City. Yeah, Man City are on the, you know, the tails of Arsenal, could possibly win as well. Right, anything hot? Can you check pound US dollar and gold? Yeah, let's do that. So that was actually a quiz question last night, guys. I do my pub quiz in my local, and it was what was the chemical symbol for gold. And I know this because it's XAU, right? So let's look at gold first as I'm talking about it, right? So AU is the symbol for gold, right? And if you look at silver over here, AG is the symbol for silver. Right, so I'm showing you here, look. So there you go. You now know what the chemical symbol for gold and silver is. Anyway, I digress. Let's start with gold, right? And let's start with the daily chart, right? Now, you know, we are back at these highs. You know, does it have a little bit more room to go? Maybe, right? But do I want to start buying that? No, right? So we are at, or almost at, these last highs, right? But then, you know, look at these candles. Now we're near that level. You know, you've got buyers closing positions, right? And you've got sellers coming into the market as a result, because it's a good resistance level, but it's not going anywhere, right? You get this a lot, guys, right? When you're in an uptrend, as we are, right? It ranged a little bit, but we're in an uptrend and you're at a key resistance level. This is a weekly resistance level, really. You always see price just get a little bit rangy, right? It doesn't know what to do with itself. Our buyer's strong enough to keep it going. Our seller's going to come in and push it lower, right? Now, I don't want to guess that, because that's what you'll be doing. If I started buying gold now, I'm guessing. If I started selling gold now, I'm guessing. Whereas, you know, you've got to take all the guesswork out, right? So if we get a big bullish candle break through this level, then okay, this level hasn't held and I'm still a gold buyer, right? Whereas if price comes up to here and we get this sort of range and then we get a breakdown on the daily, then I'm a seller, right? And that's what I will wait for, even if it takes 14 years, right? I'm exaggerating, but you know, it takes as long as it takes, right? If I said to, you know, all of you, you know, who would buy it, who would sell it, you'd probably get quite a mixed reaction. They're like, oh, it's at resistance, I'd sell it. We're in an uptrend, I'd buy it. Right? I don't want to be in that trade. When I show you a trade, I want all of you to say, oh yeah, that's a sell trade, definitely. Or, oh, I'm 100% buy trade. I don't want this 50-50. It could do this, it could do that. So wait for the market to tell you the direction it wants to go, right? Don't guess. All right. And if you started entering gold here, I would argue you are guessing, right? So yeah, that's gold for me. And if you look at the weekly, I mean, we are at those highs. Yeah, look at those. Look how it reacted last time up here. Right? We got a big sell-off. Will that happen again? We don't know. Let the market tell us, right? So gold's a no trade, right? It's another one of those, you know, we're in an uptrend, but we're at a key resistance level. Not interested, right? And then pound US dollar. So let's take a look at that. Let me have another slurp of my coffee before it gets cold. Nothing worse than cold coffee. Yeah, so let's start with we looked at this. The thing with the US dollar pairs, get my teeth in, is weekly versus daily. So we're on the weekly. Let me show you what I would do, right? So we was in this uptrend and then bang, we're in this ranged a little bit. Okay, let's say we're here, but we're basically in a downtrend. We're getting lower highs, maybe not here, but lower highs, lower lows, right? We're definitely in an uptrend. We've retraced to our smart river, which is part of our price action indicator. So if you're interested in that, guys, please check out the website. You can get access to it on our website. And, you know, this wick has closed back into this wick, and we've still got a couple more days. But, you know, if this weekly candle finishes like this, I'm very much interested in selling pound US dollar back down to these lows, right? So weekly is telling me to sell. And then if you look at the daily, if it stays like this, I will be selling pound US dollar, right? Because we was in this uptrend, right? And you can see it's kind of found this little bit of a range here, and there's a bit of a low here, right? So this uptrend has stopped making higher highs. And we actually had good pound news yesterday, and we had some pound strength, but it still wasn't enough to break those highs, right? Today, we've had some bad pound news, and we're seeing this big sell-off. So this may well be a trade for me tomorrow. So if we actually break that level and we end up with a nice big bearish candle, right, looks something like this, I will very much be interested in selling pound US dollar, right, potentially back down to here, you know, and the weekly says we can potentially take it all the way back down here. So it's not a trade now, right? Because this candle hasn't finished forming, but it could well be a trade tomorrow, right? If we look at the H4, this must be breaking down as well. There you go, right? It has broken down. So we was in this uptrend, right? And then bang, we're now in a downtrend, broken all of these lows in here, even this one here. So we're in a downtrend. But I need the daily to finish below that last daily low in here. So let's see, right? And if that does happen, then all I'll be looking for is a pullback. Our smart river is usually a pretty good place for a pullback. So somewhere in here, we get a nice bearish candle. We can look to take pound US dollar lower. All right, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one. It may well be a trade for tomorrow. And as always, guys, if you want all of my trade ideas, then please come join the free Discord. I put all of my ideas in there. So yeah, come join it. There were some other questions, did I see, guys? Actually, that's what I'm going to give you now. As it's Christmas, right? Check this out. As it's Christmas, check this
Merry Christmas, everyone. I want to give you a present. The present is my Price Action Pro Masterclass, jam-packed with over 4 hours of trading knowledge, skills, strategies, and tools that you need to succeed at trading. It's normally a paid course worth $200, but I'm gifting it to you for free. So how can I give this to you for free? Well, it's simple. We have partnered with two of the best Forex brokers in the industry, Axie and Pepperstone, and we will waiver the cost of the masterclass if you sign up with them. You just need to open a live account using our link, deposit whatever funds you like, and trade. It's as simple as that. You will then not only benefit from some of the best spreads, commissions, and swaps in the industry, but also a dedicated support team, and we will give you full access to the Price Action Pro Masterclass. Which broker you sign up with does depend on your geographical location, but all the information you need is in the video description below. This Christmas present is only available until the end of December. So what are you waiting for? Claim your present today.
So there you go, guys. Yeah, if you want the Price Action Pro, if you want the Masterclass, Price Action Masterclass, please go check out the link in the video description, guys. All right, it's free, right? So go check it out. I was just looking at my Euro Canadian dollar trade. I'm still in this one, guys, as well. So this is coming down nicely. We broke out of this range. And, you know, we're starting to see a bit of a downward trend on the H4 as well. I actually managed this trade. Again, moved the stop loss down, reduced risk, and then I added to this position in here. Right? So again, trade management is so important. You know, a lot of people, there's two schools of thought, right? People say, I just take the trade and leave it. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong or right? You know, if it works for you, fine. But good trade management over the year is going to reduce your risk, your exposure to bad trades, and it's going to increase your reward because you can add to good trades as well with trade management. And again, I've done a tutorial on this in the VIP today. Right, Nero wants to take a look at the NASDAQ. Let's do exactly that. Where are you, NASDAQ? Here you are. All right, so let's start with the daily. Okay, now this is still in an uptrend. Right, we saw this big sell-off on the indices. Yeah, I'm even going to say here like this, right? But we had this key support level here, and then just kapow, right? This is where we're at so far. So we broke this high right here, and now we're getting higher highs, right? So we're in an uptrend, and you can see we've pulled back towards our smart river, right? And we've got this candle here, right, which is a bullish candle, right? I think this is potentially a nice buy trade back up to these highs, right? If not further. Okay, so NASDAQ, looking at this chart, is a buy trade, right? Let's take a quick look at the weekly as well. Okay, I'm not liking buying into that weekly candle. I'm not. But we are in this uptrend still, right? We're still in this uptrend. But yeah, this candle, that puts me off slightly. I don't want to buy into that. If this week's candle finishes like this, okay, more interested again, you know, come back up to these highs, if not a bit further up to here. So weekly's not filling me with, you know, confidence in buying. The day chart definitely is, right? It's looking like a buy trade all day. And then H4, I'm judging by the daily. I reckon we've had a H4 structure break. Okay, maybe not. All right, so you can see this is the last high and this is where we're at. So we haven't had a H4 structure break yet. So I would be interested in buying this if we got, you know, perhaps price came down and then we got this, right? And we broke, this became the last high and we start to get higher highs, higher lows. We start seeing that H4 break of structure and an uptrend form, you know, a retest. I think this would be a nice trade for the NASDAQ back up to these highs. But wouldn't like buying it now. Nero, you in this trade? Are you actually buying it now? Let us know. It would be nice to know. Guys, please don't be shy. Please ask as many questions as you like about trading. I don't bite, only at weekends. So yeah, please come and leave a question, guys. Let's have a look at Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, because I'm still in this trade as well. Okay. This is, you know, obviously not what I want to see for my trade, this big bearish candle, but we've still got, you know, an hour and a half before this, or 2.25 hours before this actually finishes forming. And again, with Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, guys, this is the H4. And you can see we've kind of found this little bit of a range in here, right? So what I'm interested in and what I will do, if I get a break of this level and I get a H4 candle that does this, I will move my stop loss back up to here, heavily reduce my risk, and then what I reduce this by, I will add into this trade here. So I'm still only risking 1%, but I'm adding to winning trades, right? I'll still take some profit here, let some profit run. All right, and that's exactly what I did with Euro Canadian dollar. And again, there's a tutorial exactly on these trades in the VIP. Okay, so yeah, Max, hi Max, how are you, mate? Max is in the same Canadian dollar Swiss franc position. Yeah, I think me and Max are pretty much in a lot of the same trades. So yeah, but I'll definitely add to this trade if we get that break of. My Euro Swiss franc trade basically came out of break even in the end, guys, because right once we got this big bearish candle here, I took 50% profit here, and then I moved my stop loss in here to 50% risk. So it was just a break-even trade, right? If it had carried on, happy days. As it happens, it's come down, and I got out of break-even. All right. So again, more trade management. It's, you know, I am not a believer in just leaving your trade, right? I am very much, and I'm not saying tinker with your trade. What I'm saying is have clearly defined rules within your strategy that helps you manage trades, whether it's closing a trade early, whether it's reducing risk on a trade, whether it's adding to a winning position, whether it's, you know, getting out of a trade early. this should all be written down as part of your strategy. And I bet no one listening to this has that in their strategy written down, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Say, Tom, you are bloody wrong. I have it written down. If you have, fair play. If you haven't, it should be written down, guys, right? Okay, so Max wants to take a look at pound yen. Before we do, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash that like button, guys. Yeah, please join the Discord. Please go check out our website if you want access to all of our premium trading education, and please take advantage of that Christmas present and the free price action masterclass. Right, pound yen. So yeah, I was looking at buying this today, right? So why didn't I? Right? Because you can clearly see we're in this uptrend. Let me draw those lines again. Those are the worst lines I've ever drawn, right? I would say we're here, right? So this is the uptrend we're in, right? We're getting higher lows, right? Higher highs. We're 100% in an uptrend. And we've retraced to our smart river, which is, you know, normally a very good place to start looking for buys again, back up to these highs. Now, if I just looked at the daily chart, that is exactly what I would do, right? This would be a buy trade all day long. But, right, if we look at the weekly, and we're actually going to take a look at the monthly here as well, right? We are at this, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. We are at this key level here, right? You can see it here. And on the weekly, we are pretty overextended. So if you think about that, if we're overextended at a resistance level, right? If you're going to get a retrace, right? If you're going to get sellers come into this market, it is going to be here. Right? There is nowhere else, right? I mean, if you look left, like with a lot of these yen pairs, right? You're at these crazy highs, right? Right? It hasn't been, you know, this high again since over here, which is like, you know, August 2008, right? That's how weak the yen is. Okay. Now, for that reason, I'm gonna see what happens at this level, because if you look at the monthly chart, right, obviously, you know, this candle hasn't finished forming, right? We've got to wait for a month. But again, I can't help but think if sellers are coming into this market, it's going to be at this level, right? So I can't buy into that level, right? Because the daily is screaming out for a buy trade, but I cannot buy into that level. If anything, right, if I started seeing this happen, right, and then we got a breakdown of structure, because we're at this level, it would fill me with confidence to start selling, right? I think this would be a good sell trade at this point if we get a breakdown in the daily, you know, of this daily level. So that's what I would be more inclined to do, rather than keep buying into this level and buying into those overextended areas that we're at. So yeah, hope that okay, so Max is selling that as well. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, I would be more inclined to sell it than to buy it. And on that note, guys, please don't forget to join me again tomorrow. So same time for more of the same, live trades, taking your questions and having a bit of fun while we're at it. Yeah, have a great rest of your trading day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time.